Hey, Cross Park. This is your weekly leadership update. And we have several things for you today. Things you need to know. I have three categories for you. The first is about location and meeting. So we are changing our plans slightly, and we're going to stay in the parking lot a little longer than anticipated. Several weeks ago, it seemed like things were moving in a different direction than they have been. And so CMS had mentioned that we could rent space again this fall, and we envisioned that being, although not just like it used to be, but more like it used to be, more freedom and flexibility, space for children's ministry, etc. They contacted us last week saying it was going to be all masks for all people at all times on the property. And then, of course, as you know, it seems that there's going to be mask mandates coming from Mecklenburg County. Now, we're not against masks. That's not the point. We've worn masks in the parking lot, even to be safe. However, as we have considered how well things have gone, generally speaking, in the parking lot, as we look at the best weather of the year coming up in the fall, we just decided that there's no hurry to move inside. So we're going to stay in the parking lot a little longer and continue to enjoy that space and enjoy meeting in creation. And then we're hoping that will buy us a little more time, both for the COVID stuff to maybe change a bit, if not totally resolve, and also to give us time on the long-term stuff too. So we told you we've got some locations that we're talking about and discussing. Of course, nothing would be finalized until the congregation has a chance to hear the details and to vote on it. But I did want to give you an update. We still have one good option that we're having some serious conversation with, and we're just kind of in a waiting pattern on some things on their end. The other option was a physical location that we actually made an initial offer on. And the realtor came back and told us that our initial offer was substantially higher than the offer that the owners took. So we don't know all the reasons behind that. It doesn't make 100% sense to everyone involved, but it doesn't have to. In one sense, the way that I've looked at the situation is simply to say, providentially, in his timing, the Lord has not given us a long-term solution, and the short-term solution is still the parking lot. So the Lord is keeping us in the parking lot a bit longer. Please continue to pray that we can be effective, that the Lord can work in us and through us in the parking lot. We believe that he really has done that. It's been very encouraging. We also want you to continue to pray for a long-term location, that the places that we are actively looking at, that one of them will be the right place. And I really believe that because this location we made a bid on, that we didn't get the bid, that has to be because the Lord has something that will be ultimately better for us as a congregation. So keep praying for location issues. Secondly, you all know that there was a significant earthquake in Haiti this last week, and it did affect the part of the country where ESMI does most of its ministry in the western part of the country. We have had several updates from ESMI. They're somewhat encouraging. Donnie, who's our personal connection in ESMI, Donnie was able to get into the country yesterday, and was able to even begin purchasing food and water supplies to be shipped out to the western part of the island. The process of getting food and water to that part of the island is really difficult. Tropical Storm Grace has been dropping rain there. Also, with the earthquake, some of the roads have been closed because of physical problems. So it's difficult. It's not an easy situation at all. And yet, Donnie was encouraged that he was able to find some supplies for purchase in country, which is often hard to do in Haiti. So in order for us to help them to accelerate their efforts, we are doing a special offering for Haiti relief this week. There's a couple ways you can give. You can go ahead right now and go to our webpage, crossparkchurch.org, click on the Give button. As you get to our actual giving page where you enter in your info, there'll be a drop-down box. And in that drop-down menu, you'll see Haiti relief as an option. So feel free to go ahead and do that. Or this Sunday, we'll be taking up a special offering as well. So you can write a check and put Haiti relief in the memo line at the bottom, or if you want to give cash, you can have an envelope, write Haiti relief on that envelope and put it in the basket as it goes around. And then once we have all that money collected, we will send one big donation to ESMI so they can know all at once sort of the chunk coming from Cross Park, and they can continue to purchase desperately needed food, water, and medical supplies for their people in Western Haiti. Finally, we have a unique opportunity. I mentioned this Sunday. You also are getting emails about it. One of our women's book studies this summer studied The Rise and Triumph of the Modern Self by Carl Trueman. It's a fascinating book about how we got here, sort of how did our culture come to a place where we believe some of the things we believe. Very helpful, very insightful book. Well, one of the women in our group actually has a personal connection to Dr. Trueman. And so we have been able to get a tentative opportunity to discuss the book with Dr. Trueman himself. He's on vacation, so we're still waiting for 100% final confirmation. But the plan right now is that next Thursday, August 26th, there'll be an opportunity for a Zoom book discussion with Carl Trueman about his latest book. So we ask that you, if you want to participate in this conversation, that you read the book. Simple enough. Again, the women read the book this summer and discussed it, and then stumbled upon this opportunity to have a further conversation with Carl Trueman, and they have graciously opened it up to anyone else who has read the book. So you've got a little over a week. If you order the book right now, it's not a small book, you can get it here, work hard in the next week, and you could read the book if you really want to. I think it would be very beneficial if you want to do that. But we want to give you that opportunity Thursday, August 26th, a Zoom conversation with Carl Trueman that evening. And again, when we get the final confirmation on the details, we'll send it your way. But thank you to the women who have opened up that opportunity to the rest of us. Well, Cross Park, thank you for listening to these updates. There's a lot going on in the world, a lot in the news. And in the midst of the chaos, in the midst of constantly changing plans, we want to reaffirm and be reminded that God reigns, that he's worth trusting, that he has good plans for us, and that even through ups and downs, he's going to continue to show his character, his strength, and his rescue for his people. So thank you for listening today. Please keep praying for these things, and we will see you Sunday morning, either online or in the parking lot. Take care.